Racism is a disease, more akin to blindness than other perceptions we have. So what you are repelled or repulsed by is the projection of yourself, self-projection. And so we need to be aware of this process of projecting our inner upon others in terms of what we either believe or disbelieve, or like or dislike in ourselves. Comment.
Bapu, what is the realization of God?
Put simply, realizing that everything is what that is, and who that is. Everything is that. The realization of God is totality. The realization of God is infinite consciousness. The realization of God is peace and silence, as we have an abundance of here in the woods. See, there's nothing but peace and silence, and the livingness, the sound of the life forms in this country. See, this is country here. And so it is the life here, it is the life that is perceived, and God is also the life that one can't perceive. That is infinite, so you can't perceive it, but that doesn't mean it's not God. See, then it's God is infinity. See, and that's something we need to be prepared for when the time comes, because it's a very difficult topic here, what the infinite is here. You have to scramble your brains to try and figure out what isn't the infinite, as well as what is the infinite. See, because it's what you see and what you can't see. It's the all and the nothing. That is true of the infinite. And then the infinite is what? None other than the finite when you look at it from another point of view. See, so we're talking about ideas and perceptions, perspectives that indicate where we are on the ladder of evolution as a human consciousness, as an awakened, an enlightened, or an unenlightened being. So since God is conceptually, theoretically, hypothetically, what is and what isn't, relative to being and maybe non-being, the universe of matter, of time, space, energy, mind. We have to find ourselves connected with the spark, which is that God, see, the spark of God. I had a term I used in my earlier career, that's the burn. The holy burn, see. And that has to do with the sizzle, see, the sizzling of the heat of fire that is the knowing of God itself, see. That's transcendence. It's a continual burn. Transformation, transcending simultaneously. See. Everything is existing for its moment, but its moment disappears. Like everything disappears into the infinite itself.
So how long does it take for one to get to this place that you're talking about, this realization of God?
Now, or never, or forever. Depends on your evolutionary cycle, state, awareness, need, awakeness, enlightenment. So to the degree that you can abandon your thinking to the contrary, then there's only God. similarly, there's only God as love. And that's relative to the heart emanation of clear light that God is the source of. And it's a sound. It is the sound we're hearing. It's the bugs, but it's the source of bugs. So it's also jazz. It's also inside jazz, and in the middle jazz, and then outside jazz, beyond jazz. It's the sounds of beyondness, or silence, or light, or peace, or grace, or wisdom. The sound of all these concepts, because these concepts promote images. The images are part of the revelation of the various forms that we see that are either akin to God or the avoidance of what that is.
Yeah, and talking about these phrases like everything is nothing and nothing is everything, I'm curious to know your point of view if everything is meaningless.
Yes. And everything is not meaningless. See? Because everything that is meaningless could be everything that is a nothing. See? Nothing to be concerned about. You see? So then there's rest, there's peace, there's clarity, there's beingness, and then there may be what we call the more meaningful. See? So then it's moving from the being of it to a more, let's say, intellectual comprehension of what is meaningful. To who? To what? The mind, the self, the ego, the heart, the what? See? The brain, life, peeps, music, art, creation, all of these conceptual abstractions and extensions of how people need to view the greatness of what is before them, which they're part of, but it takes a while to get to that point where you're grooving at that level. Because in the beginning, you're trying to figure out what that level is. You want to know what there is to figure out, if there is anything to figure out. See? And since we have questions that we don't have answers for, then there's a lot to figure out. And so we're busy figuring things out, and that's a good thing. If you figure out what it is to the degree of peace, see, and openness, and harmony, then it's worth the pause and the effort to have any figuring out of anything. See? We recall wonderment and what wondering is about and what the wonder is, if there is a wonder. See? Talk about states of mind that are trying to grasp the potential of being aware, see? And make sense of it, make do with it, basically. See? Like you who can wake up and say, I wonder what I'm going to do today. See? That could mean you're guessing or you're preparing to do something. See? And that then the wonderment depends, or is contingent upon your thought processes and whether you need to think to get them going or they get you going. You don't need to think. They just come. And that's a wonderment in itself, where, boom, it's already here and beyond you and despite you, and it goes on as if it's a separate entity within your being. See? A separate program, or as the esotericists would call it, the subtle body. It's like a dimension of consciousness as part of you. So in certain traditions you have the physical body, you have the emotional body, right? And you have the causal body, and you have a subtler body, and then you have the spiritual body, see? And you have the soul body, and you may have the God body, see? And then you may have nobody as the more important body, depending on who and where you are and what you need. Sometimes it's better to be nobody than the somebody that gets you into all kinds of mischief, see? Or problems, or karmas, right? You have those days when you think, I should have stayed home. You just go back to my window, look out my window. That's safer than being out here with all this madness going on, if that's where you are. Comment. Racism is fear of other. Fear of difference. In some cases, it's fear of color, smell. Yeah. Fear of life. Fear of the unknown. What one fears they can't be or should be and can't be. That's fear. That's also racism. Not properly understanding otherness. Or why the great creator, master of the universe, created the otherness to make you have a problem with it. He gives the racist something to get messed up about. Right? I say, man, why do I have to see this? Why do I have to know that? Why? Blah, blah. Oh, you have to ask God about that. Yeah, go to the creator, maker of all of this, right? Differentiation, right? And creative manifestations of itself. Talk to God about it. Put it on God where it came from. It doesn't come from humans. It's not about, racism is not about humans. Humans come from the God, right? And believe me, racist humans, you definitely don't want to mess with the God, right? The true maker, the true burn force of all of this, right? The creative burn force that has created all things. You definitely want to mess with that. You don't really want to question it, but you're granted the opportunity to make believe you're really questioning what you see that you don't like, as if it cares. It gave you the sense of caring and not caring, and it doesn't care at all what you care about. See, because it puts you out here to say no. You got to figure this out yourself. You deserve to be out here in this mess, so good luck. I'm done with it, says God. It's your problem, human, egomaniac, fearful piece of junk. Mind, racism, fear, that's what it is. The fear of seeing another color, the fear of knowing another being, the fear of being better than yourself or beyond yourself. See? That's enlightenment, beyond fear and beyond racism and beyond personification of anything, beyond things, beyond concern. Peace, beyond concern. See, at peace with the God of creation. Racists don't know what that means, because they have no access to it from their condition of suffering, appearances, and otherness, or color. They have no peace. See? They are without peace. When you have peace, then you're okay with everything. Then you're okay with God, the Maker, the Creator, the Supreme Being, and call it whatever else you want to call it. See, it's at peace. See, it's not what moves. It moves what moves. It's beyond movement, it's beyond breathing, it's beyond your body, it's beyond your thoughts, your nasty appearances in clothes, or your gobbledygook nonsense and neuroses. It's beyond your human failures and failings and foolishness and all of that. Now it is the peace beyond all of that. It's beyond what your eyes see and your ears hear and your nose smells and your mouth tastes and your hands touch and your butt sits on. It's beyond all of that. It is thus called the infinite because it's not interested in the finite. See. So be it. Hugh.
Hugh.